Hello everybody, this is Joel, aka Bourbon Dingo, and welcome to episode 41 of my second series on Let's Play Crusader Kings 2. Alright, during the last episode, we took some area away from England. Not a whole lot. But what we were actually going to do is we were looking at the age of our king. And I've got a couple of claims currently right now on Norway. I'm going to go ahead and make those claims. We're going to try to fund this war completely with mercenaries and our own personal troops if possible. That way we don't make our vassals too angry with us. As you can see, we've already got some penalty popping up here. So we want to go ahead and make sure they like us a little bit. Alright. Let's go ahead and get the clock started. And what I'm going to do is we're going to pop it up to about 3. But I'm going to pause immediately again. Take a look real fast. They're still at war, so we can't take the area from England. But we are going to declare war on King Grim of Norway here. I'm just going to press the two claims we have, which is Tyrconnell and Orkney. And as I said, my goal here is to simply fund this army with our own personal troops and possibly a band of mercenaries, maybe one. In fact, we'll pull up the White Company, the Alexander of Essex. We're going to get this full group up into Tyrconnell over here. We're not really going to hurry this war along either. The goal really is just to take both of these areas from them and attempt my best to clear a couple holdings here and there. Let's pause real fast. We have a revolt down here, and I should be able to defeat it just simply by pulling up those troops. Alright, pause once again. Go ahead and get rid of those troops. Get the clock started up again. We'll slowly get enough soldiers into here to start taking Tyrconnell. I'm not going to worry too heavily about hurrying through this. We've stolen a little bit of technology. So we have started our assault, and I will actually have a 10-to-1 ratio, so I may go ahead. As you can see, we're actually suffering from attrition there. So I'll at least hurry up and get the very first area taken. Alright, as you can see, we are currently losing about 28 gold a month. So I'm going to go ahead and assure that we don't drop too far below 1,000 in the prosecution of this war. Alright, and we're done with this area because one of the cities is actually held by Genoa. So let's go ahead and get these guys up into Orkney. Right after we're done with Orkney, I'll see how many soldiers are left, and we'll go ahead and start sending our troops possibly up to Norway, Iceland, or some of these other islands that may prove to be a little bit faster of a catch. But we are going to go ahead and take our king out of leading this army. He's old enough as it is, and we're actively trying to stay away from him dying as soon as possible. I would like to have this war over with before that happens. Alright, and that battle went fairly quickly, and taking a quick look, we have well over the 10-to-1 ratio. So let's go ahead and do our two assaults relatively quickly. Alright, let's pause real fast, make sure we don't have any factions creeping up in large portions. We do have one, but I can get him to get rid of that faction fairly easily. Sending him about 100 gold will jump his approval up enough to kill that faction. Alright, and we have done that, so I'm going to need about 230 boats. Let's go ahead and pull up. We're just going to do this the easy way. I'm going to pull up all of my boats. And what I'll do is simply try to get a good amount here. 290, that's a little bit more than I'd like to have running around, but I can handle it. We'll get them up and then I'll dismiss the rest of the boats that have collected. Alright, swing in. We see we have some troops coming, which will likely be carrying enough for us to... Okay, I don't see them anymore. They moved off. Let's go ahead and get our guys up here. Move the boats into here. Okay, they're moving. I just couldn't see it. And take a couple more holdings here and there. As you can see, we can assault these areas relatively easily. Alright, get these guys back onto the boats. My granddaughters need some education. Let's go ahead and pick up that ourselves. Back on the boat, and let's get them into some more areas. Move them into there. Take a quick look. They haven't landed any troops anywhere. Okay. A relatively large amount of boats there now. So let's keep an eye on this. Alright. One of my counts is asking for a chance to deal with an assassination attempt, and we can send someone to jail. Or we can just say it isn't my call. And I'm just going to say it isn't my call. I'll lose the 10 piety. Alright, let's go ahead and finish this assault real fast, and I'll bring them back in here to deal with the siege on Orkney. That'll clear those soldiers out relatively quickly. We'll chase them once, possibly. We'll get our boats down into here, that way we can load them up immediately afterwards. Send them off into Iceland over here. Alright, as you can see, they've brought about 5,000 more troops, so we're going to slowly see troops being handled into here. We don't quite have, we have just a 10-to-1 ratio right now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and test this, because if they're only moving about 5,000 troops a time, I can simply stay in the area and fight them during each of these sets, especially if I can get back before they add too many more troops in. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. Alright, what is going on here? There we go. What you see is they've started an assault here in this area, and they'll probably finish it maybe right before I get there. No, I caught them before they did it. And this will clear out the large collection of troops that they've brought over. So let's pause. We'll send our ships to get picked up, but we're also going to send our guys in to chase. Looking around, we have a small revolt that has occurred in here, so let's just send some troops in to take care of that. This area over here that I said that I hadn't really recognized what it had been was actually France. So they're in combat with France right now. we'll go ahead and take care of that. We seem to have chased them at least into this first area, so let's keep the ball rolling here. I'll clear out a few of their troops before I go back and try to handle. Alright, we've captured one of their bishops. They're running around with about 1,000 troops. I don't think that's going to be enough to assault any place. If it is, I may just call up some simple troops from Moray here. Alright, and they're suing for peace. So let's go ahead and gain both those counties. Alright, get these guys back in. Right after I get these guys back in, I'm going to get my troops to a spot where I can get them disbanded. So we can stop paying for the mercenary army that was with them. And we have now gained all the mainland in Ireland, which is very nice. I very much like that. Norway is currently having their problems with the Golden Horde, so that's what made that likely as easy as it was. So let's go ahead and turn our eyes back on England over here. And I'll start collecting a few. If I can have him live out a few more years to where I get closer and closer to that 10 years, which I'm not sure that's going to happen considering that we have the stress trait. But shouldn't be too big of an issue. Got to go ahead and get rid of a couple of areas. Taking a look, I don't have anybody really that I can hand off. I do have a daughter I can matrilineally marry to someone that I pull in, however. So let's go ahead and do something simple here. Let's take a look at the Kingdom of England. Try to find some claimants that are willing to join us. Because if I can find a young claimant, I can matrilineally marry that claimant off to one of my children, to my daughter. And then what I can do in that instance, I can actually invite the mayor of Pillars here, but he's a little old. I don't want to risk him dying before my daughter has had children. All right, we have a kinslayer here. And try to forego that. We've actually got someone of our dynasty who has a claim on England. That's really kind of interesting. But I'm not willing to do that immediately. What we want to do is, I think I'm going to pull Chancellors of the Simbala here into our court. And whenever he arrives, I'm going to matrilineally marry him off to one of my daughters, and I'm going to give him one of these areas I've just claimed. And then we will possibly press a claim on England when he has had a child, and we'll press the child's claim on England. So let's go ahead and pull him up. It'll be Alan Weiss here. And he's currently married. I didn't even think of that. Alright, so we just ran into an issue there. Well, let's possibly... We'll consider him to take one of our spots. He does like us. Let's go ahead and check that again. See if... I may just go ahead and invite that member of my dynasty back into my area here. For the sole purpose of anyone of his dynasty will likely be... He's not married. So we may be able to go ahead and marry him off and assure that we... Alright, let's go ahead and find him real fast. Alright. He has married, but his wife died at a fairly young age, and they hadn't had any children. Let's go ahead and marry him off. Marry him to possibly one of my daughters. However, he can marry anyone because it will be of the Matherfall dynasty. So I'm going to go ahead and forego actually marrying him off to someone of my daughter, or of my dynasty. We're going to find him maybe a princess of Sweden. Let's go ahead and marry him off to a princess of Sweden. Once that marriage has occurred, I'll go ahead and start handing out some of these areas I've been holding on to. Let's pull him up. I'm going to hit OK. Let's figure out what I want to give him. I think I'm going to give him the County of Orkney, along with the lower titles. He's going to remain under my vassalage, simply because that's actually part of a different duchy. Alright, we're also going to grant him, or not him, we're also going to grant the other guy that we pulled in, even though he isn't part of our dynasty. We'll grant him the County of Tyrconnell. We'll include the lower titles. But then we're going to immediately transfer the vassalage over to this guy. And that keeps that de jure area intact. I'm very tempted to go ahead and give Leinster here to someone. But I'm not over the amount of areas I can control. So we're going to go ahead and leave that be for now. Alright, taking a quick look here. Can't really make any claims. Not even for him at this point. They could press his claim on the Kingdom of England, possibly. Let's take a look real fast and see if that's actually a possibility to press his claim. We have army levies raised. Oh, from the revolt down here. Got it. Just want to take a quick look, see if the Kingdom of England could be claimed for him. Doesn't appear so, and I'm not sure exactly why. But a little issue there. We'll see what's going on with that at a later point in time. Alright, the granddaughter that we decided to take care of is a little shy and having trouble making friends. We're going to try to help her meet people, and she's become gregarious. Alright, we have a mayor who has been claimed as a heretic, and we're going to say he's not a heretic. Taking a quick look down here, you can see that we have a few areas, just a few, not many, that need to be changed to the Catholic religion. Alright, we're going to go ahead and release. We're going to say that we're just going to be merciful with them. But I'm going to go ahead and release him. I don't have much of a reason to hold on to him. Even ransoming him is only going to get us 25 gold. So let's go ahead and benefit from the plus 10 relationship with everyone. While we wait for some happenings, I'm going to go ahead and just look through our area here. As you can see, England very much just hates us. There's little issue with that. But around here, there's not too many people that dislike us that much. We do have a few here and there. Mostly probably because of religious differences. Even Norway over here, even after the war was over, we still don't have that big of an issue. He doesn't have that big of an issue with us. He very much liked us before the war was prosecuted. Let's go ahead and scroll down real fast, figure out where we just had a revolt occur, and just pull up our troops. See if I can't get some fight going on there. I may go ahead and still lose that. Let's Cordoba that has the large amount. I thought that it might have been Seville, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But we do appear to be winning it even without the troop I called up in there. So let's go ahead and disband them. As you can see over here, they're currently at war with both France and Lord Mayor Gilberto of Murtola. Not sure how that one works, but we'll see how that works. Alright, because it's always nice to have goals, we're remembering that our current goal is England. And once we take England, I'm going to start focusing on these 3 islands I have left. We're going to take all of Iceland, as well as Shetland, and Faryar here. We're going to clear that area up. And then I believe our goal after that will be possibly trying to unify the Iberian Peninsula. And then after that, I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be possibly a push down into Africa or a focus on France. We'll have to see how that turns out. Sort of hoping that sooner or later the Okanit or the Golden Horde will actually, that there will be a revolt or something and that they'll split up, but that's always very hard to see happen. We got something going on here. There is a war for Moravia and a war for Gelry, so nothing big happening there. There is a German Pisan embargo war going on. There doesn't appear to be a war going on between the Holy Roman Empire and Germany, which I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and take a look real fast. And apparently, even though Germany is being represented as being a part of the Holy Roman Empire currently, they are still part of the Holy Roman... Nope. That's interesting. It's the Holy Roman Empire that's got the name that's overlapping. We'll see how that turns out. Alright. We're expressing our cynical views, and we're losing some piety because of that. Hungary controls one area up here now. Alright, my granddaughter is wanting to become content, and we're going to say it suits her position. We've stolen some more technology, and the Pope likes us a little bit more, because we have succeeded in getting this area to change. So let's move him down into Seville and get him started there. There's a full-on Waldensian religion here in Mercia. And part of me is very tempted to press a holy war against them. Though I don't really want to get involved in the war that's currently going on. Alright, we've made a single claim, and I'm loath to actually get these because I don't think I'm going to last long enough to use them. In saying that, he'll probably live another, 5-6 years. But, where is the barony of Cassano? I have a strong claim way down here on a barony, which is really kind of interesting. And looking at the inheritance list, I think I'm 3rd in line for inheritance. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here. It does appear that I am 3rd in line for inheritance. Oh well. We're going to go ahead and let it go. And I'm going to go ahead and move my Chancellor. Even though I moved him over there to start working to begin with, I'm not real sure why I did. What I do want to do, however, is sow some dissent and see if I can't get France to start something. At least to try and get them disbanded or something. It'll aid me in case they ever decide they want to press anything in Brittany. Alright, my son has voted for himself in the Brittany here. We've done some more conversions. Gonna hold about 2,000 in tow, but I will go and upgrade to an expanded longbow range. Let me take a quick look. They're still at war, and it is a small percentage, so I may not see the end of that war before my king has passed away. And he has just had an occurrence that has made him less able to handle his domain, because my wife just became infirm. So, I may need to give away Leinster here if we run into any issues of people disliking me because of it. All right. Seville has been converted, so let's go ahead and move down a bit. Get him started in Cadiz. He can't move for a very short period of time, so let's go ahead and wait until the 8th of October. Move him over into Cadiz and get that taken over, and then we'll start working here on the northern part of the Iberian Peninsula and see if I can't get these two areas converted. But what once was a Muslim stronghold is now very much not so. England's war, I believe, is now over. Let's take a look real fast. It is over, so let's go ahead and be horrible. I'm going to usurp the Kingdom of England. We've usurped the title of the Kingdom of Pembroke. Alright, and one of the issues that this has brought up, and this works for us very well, is that it's reverted everything down here into duchies. Because it's reverted it into duchies, we can start pressing claims. Or more specifically, we can start apparently I can't request offer vassalization. And there are some that will not accept foreign culture. That doesn't knock it down completely. Let's start sending off some gifts, seeing if I can get these people to join England. But as you can see, most of the problem is simply that a little bit of money will solve. I believe the issue here is that I'm not going to be able to get... Let's go ahead and see who accepts first. Alright, which means that we have to figure out who is in charge here. It's Prince Jordan of Asturias. And I do not believe I can get him at all to join us. I do believe, however, that this is someone new. This is not King Jordan anymore. This is Prince Jordan. I don't know if he was the Prince. Yes, he was. Okay. I likely still have a truce with him. I do. So I can't really do anything with that. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at... Right. We have the Kingdom of Pembroke that I've just pulled into everybody, and I'm going to go ahead and destroy it. It's going to cost me quite a bit of prestige. And anyone in those vassals actually will hate me for it, so I think I want to hold off real fast on that. In doing that, I've basically created an instance where I can possibly change the crown laws, however. And that may be the biggest necessity here. Let's go see what the crown laws are for Pembroke. They're minimal. So we need to go ahead and begin increasing the crown laws to match up what we have in in the rest of the Welsh Empire. And that'll also mean that at some point we'll have to change the elective set here. But we're also running into that issue where I'm not sure it's allowing us to nominate ourselves for the Kingdom of England. Oh, because we are currently the King of England. We'll hope they know Falcon lead. Since we've done that, however, I didn't keep that claim. If I'd have kept that claim, I probably could have pressed something. But we have gotten them down to a very small area. And now, this empire is not what it was. In fact, as you can see, a lot of these areas that were currently under them basically just fell apart. One thing I do want to do is keep a good look at who is winning the vote, and that's going to be my son, so that's good. I didn't gain any new area. Go ahead and take a quick look. I have a few small areas that I can claim. Okay, we've had a revolt here in Norfolk. I'm going to pause real fast because we've just had a rather large faction come up here. One of my sons here, who is constantly causing me problems, have a large % chance, and that could solve one of my biggest issues here. Let's go ahead and figure out where he's currently at. He is in Insagal. Let's research. That is not where he's normally at. He's the steward of Leinster. But he's not in Leinster. Leinster is actually right here, I believe. Yes, so he's in Ossory right now. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and send my spy master into Leinster. So go ahead and build a spy network. And while he's there, we're going to see if I can't, or at least see what my percentages are here. We didn't increase in percentages, and I believe that's because I would have to assassinate him while he was in Insagal. But we're actually running up on our 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. And we'll prosecute that assassination whenever I come back. But we actually achieved quite a bit. We got a few areas here from Norway and solidified our hold on Ireland. And as soon as the war ended for England, we went ahead and took the title of the Kingdom of Pembroke, which was once the Kingdom of England. And now we just have Asturias here, which is under the previous King of England. And we're going to wait for our truce to end, which will most likely end whenever our king dies. And we'll start pressing small claims here against them. But alright guys, I'm going to let you go. And I will see you during the very next episode. Thanks for watching.